In today's video, I'm going to showcase the latest updates we've made in building our cozy D&D mapmaking tool. I'll include a little introduction for those of you who are just joining the party, but for those of you who've been following along and would like to get to the meat of this video, skip ahead and see what we've been working on the past couple of months. You can just move to part 2 of this video.
For over a decade now, I've been making maps for D&D games. I started by filling little booklets like these, sketching out worlds and drawing out maps live at a table during sessions. That practice slowly grew into something bigger, and eventually I was creating maps professionally. Along the way, I even got to work on some successful Kickstarters where I explored new approaches like papercraft and cardboard terrain. But through all of that, there was always this one thing I kept coming back to. One idea that felt like my white whale. I always wanted to build my own map maker. Over the years, I've tried out some incredible tools, Dungeon Draft being the one I probably use the most, but I always wanted to push things a little further. When I first started developing my own battle map maker, the idea was small. I wanted to add an extra layer of tech to existing map makers. But as we kept testing and experimenting, I realized there were ways to make the whole map making process more intuitive, more flexible, and ultimately more fun. What started as a post-processing tool has gradually evolved into a fully realized cozy map editor. The goal is to create a map in just a few minutes, much like I used to do at the table when I was sketching on the fly. Or if you prefer, spend hours building something huge and detailed to share with other DMs. Right now, we're building the editor one feature at a time. We've started with the basics, like placing objects, adding lighting, and now we're moving into terrain features, things like paths and height adjustments. In this devlog, I want to show you what the path tool looks like at the moment, and talk a bit about where we see it going once it's combined with the other tools we're working on. At its simplest, the path tool lets you draw a smart road that adapts to the environment around it. So if your path hits a cliff, it can automatically turn into a stairway. If it spans a gap, it becomes a bridge. The current version allows you to draw pretty much any shape or line, and the tool adapts it into a path. There are some trade-offs though. If you use a lot of points on your line, you'll get a path that closely follows your drawing, but it becomes more challenging to adapt it later. On the other hand, fewer points give you more flexibility, but the shape might stray from what you originally intended. Because of that, we're considering a hybrid system. Basically, you draw paths the old way with complete control, but the innovative features would still kick in whenever they're helpful. For example, drawing a path across the river would automatically create a bridge, but you'd still be in charge of the exact shape of that bridge. Once you've got your path laid out, you can customize it further. You might make parts of the road wider, change the texture, or swap it out entirely for a bridge or a staircase. We're also planning on adding presets for common designs, while still letting detail-oriented map makers tweak things as much as they want. In its current form, the editor already has all the dials and menus packed into it, but we're also exploring ways to make the experience more streamlined. The idea is to have two modes, a simple mode where most of the heavy lifting is automated, and an advanced mode where you can fine-tune every detail. That way, if you're mid-session and you need a map fast, you can just start with a blank canvas, draw a road, sketch in a river, and drop in some trees, and within minutes you've got a fully animated map ready to go. Of course, maps aren't just about shapes, they're about style. A significant aspect of this project involves creating asset packs in various color schemes and terrain types. While part of the team works on the editor itself, the rest are focused on filling out these asset packs so it's easy to switch between different looks and environments. Right now, color swapping is handled in the detailed selection menus, but we're also experimenting with ways to make that process even more straightforward. Ideally, you'd be able to change the color of almost anything in just a couple of clicks. As for the menus and UI design, we're still figuring out what feels best. At the moment, we're mainly testing assets and seeing what's really needed to support a wide variety of environments and building styles. That'll become even more important if we move into the next stage of the terrain tools. Each tool will build on the last, and piece by piece, the mapmaker will become more powerful and more versatile. If you're interested in following along with the project, you can support us on Patreon. The link is down below. Supporting this project is like joining a Kickstarter. Buy now and get access to the fully realized project when it's done, with the bonus of being able to playtest it along the way and give your input on perfecting it. My primary focus right now is development, but I'm also trying to create more media around the project. That means more devlogs like this one and shorter updates to keep you in the loop. That's all for this devlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.